Crazy. Welcome back to A Voice of Metal, where we talk about all things metal. I have had such a wonderful time the last couple nights. Just so you know, well, first of all, I don't even know if my stream's going through, but basically what it boils down to, last night I have a problem with swallowing food sometimes, and I was out and I had a corn chip stuck in my esophagus, so I couldn't do very much or talk. So I'm okay now. I think I still feel a little bit of, I don't know if it's just soreness or what. So I apologize for last night. Plus, getting out here so late, had some other issues come up. So we'll see. See, now I'm still getting not receiving enough video to mainstream, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. I was doing excellent at first, so I'll have to figure this out. But anyway, there's a couple things I want to start off with. Um, One is go to the link on the bottom, or the QR code, to help Carla because she's a wonderful person, and I want to support her because she has an operation coming up. So if you guys could click that, check it out, see if there's any artwork that you might like or enjoy, and buy it from her, and just so you can help support her when it comes to her. Um, I said basically what it was. She has no insurance for the operation, and it means a great deal to her to have that to help with that. Well, she's right now not on tour with her band, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. And definitely, you can tell a difference. Just from the videos I've seen, the shorts makes a huge difference. But anyway, and also there is Living Dead Girl Dysfunctional, I think is the name of the song. Um, if you have XM satellite radio, check out Octane. Well, it's basically she was saying this on Octane, for her video. I mean her song, and is actually on on XM satellite Octane radio. So they actually are hoping that we get enough people to let people know about her song. She'd greatly appreciate it because she needs that rotation um, in their normal things so people know about the band, know about her songs, and that would help her out tremendously. So I'm all about helping people as much as I can. I can't do every single person out there, but if you see this, let me know. I mean, try to do them a favor, be awesome because they've had a, some issues lately with repairs and all this other stuff. Kind of reminds me of Raven. She's kind of having some things that she's basically like surprise bags and stuff like that for her band, um, so she can get rid of old merchandise, and that way she can also use that money to buy like new equipment, help with the bills, basically on touring buses. These are the bands that are not well known. They're not super huge, and they're doing it day by day. They basically put on a show, they sell merchandise, and sell records to provide them the money to go on tour and all this other stuff. So without that, they definitely cannot survive without that. And once they get more established, I'm sure they'll have enough money, hopefully, to kind of keep things rolling. Which it's not always easy for a smaller band that's not as well known to do that. So I that's what I'm all about. I try to get, not only I want the bigger bands in here, but I want some people that may not know some of the smaller bands. They're really great. I mean, their shows are really reasonable because they're not, like you said, not as well known, and they get some venues that are not super big. So you get to see them really close up. You get to enjoy the show. And actually, to be honest with you, I've been to big shows, I've been to small shows, and personally, the intimate parts of the smaller shows I enjoy even more than the big shows. Um, and no matter how big a band gets, I still think that I still think they need to keep that personal touch as much as they can. I know it's not going to be easy, especially if a lot of people know who they are. But so you got to kind of balance that. You got to have try to keep it personal, but yet still make it big enough that everybody can enjoy. And it's not an easy task to do. It's kind of like, when I went to Arlington, Texas to see Metallica Five Finger Death Punch and stuff like that, it was pretty big. And there's no way they could actually meet every single fan out there. It just, kind of engage like they do in the smaller ones. And there's still quite a few people. There's probably a couple hundred, maybe 300, maybe 400 people. I don't know. Not thousands of people. But yeah, so this is one of a list of somebody's that's on YouTube. And I saw it. I thought, I'm going to check this out. Maybe I'll try to get some of the names of the bands on here. Because it might be interesting to find out if there's some new metal bands or is it the ones that I don't even know about that I should hear. So that's the name of the title, 146. I don't know the description of his channel. Nashtag, Nashtag, I think is how you say it. I think it might be his name, but I'm just gonna go through it. I don't have the albums or anything like he does in the videos. He's got like all kinds of metal posters in the background, which I don't because I only have a few so far. But hey, I still got my shirts. I still go sport my concert T-shirts when I do go. Number 10 on his list is Purgatory, and that's a death metal band. So that'd be interesting to see what they're like. I've never heard of before. Like I said, these are mostly things that I've never heard of before, I don't think. And it might be interesting to try and listen to. They're probably pretty deep heavy metal. Sounds like they're mostly heavy, black, speed, I guess, death metal. Midas is number 9 is heavy. I'm not sure what kind of heavy, if it's metalcore or new metal or death metal. It'd be interesting. So, number 8 is Twilight Embrace is black metal. So, and that sounds like a cool title. So we'll see what happens. See what, if they are really good. I'll have to listen to some of these to try them out. Knights and the Gallow, number 7. Now this one is rather interesting because it kind of reminds me of Iron Maiden's one song, and the Knights and the Gallow, or something with the Gallow. They have Hallowed Be Thy Name, I think is what it is. And they talk about gallows and they talk about knights, I think. And so that'd be kind of interesting if it kind of plays into some of that kind of music. So it might be, it says epic heavy. So I'm assuming it might be kind of close to Iron Maiden sounds. It's hard to say. Desolate Shrines, number 5, Death. See, at least these I can pronounce. Go figure, right? Except for this next one. Suppleris is number 4, and that's a death metal band. Number 3 is Army, heavy and speed. Number 2 is Miss Cavern, is black. And Sadistic Force is number 1, it's black speed metal. Now, I will say this much. I don't have a lot of information about these bands. For me personally, it's like I like to hear the music myself to find out if they're really well underrated bands that you might not know. His is the band metal bands you've never heard but should. So I've do it as underrated bands that deserve attention. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to listen to them to find out because even I don't know. Because I'm still learning, and there's, like I said, there are a lot of bands out there that maybe deserve way more attention than they do. And if you are in a metal band that's small, a local band or anything like that, please, come and send me a message. I do have a Instagram account that's not my metal stuff. It's more about my art, but people have found me through that. I've heard of a band that's in Russia that actually the lead singer followed me at first, and I listened to her music and I loved it. And there's just a new gentleman. I think he's a band, but I'm not certain. It seems like he's more of a solo guy right now, I believe, from what I can tell. I don't remember the name of it. I just know that it seems like he has a really great sound. He does some covers, and other stuff. So yeah, that's one of those things that it's kind of interesting to find people that are willing to reach out to me. And I don't think he knows about my channel. I think I sent him a message to see if I could do an interview with him. I think it'd be kind of cool. Because like I said, I'm always willing to help out somebody else. Um, and I would do that for Raven. I would do that for the guys from Owls and Alien, and even Living Dead Girl, which which is a pretty big step for them. They're on Octane on XM satellite radio, which is means that they're getting listeners all over the Play XM satellite radio. So that's pretty big deal. So if you do try that, there is something she asks. So if you can do that, you can probably find her Facebook page, Living Dead Girl, on Facebook. She's got a post that tells you what to have on there and hashtags and stuff, and maybe a little picture of her song playing on the. Basically, she has a schedule of when it's going to be playing, what day. For right now, that she has, at least recently, I think. I'm not sure how she knows that. They must send her information about that when it's going to be on, so she can let her fans know, which is kind of cool. Um, I'm not sure how they do that, to be honest. Be interesting to find out. So she has some information from somebody. So if you can help them out, and even check out these other bands I mentioned. Um, and there's a lot of other bands out there that I think are phenomenal, like King A10. Machine Head's a fairly well known band. Uh, Gojira is one I think is a fairly well, to me it's new. To at least I discovered them recently, but they've been around for a while. So that way people know that I'm not saying, oh, they're a new band. No, they're not a new band. They've been around for a long time. But I think they're to the point where they're getting notoriety a lot more, and possibly. Um, yeah, Bloody Wood is one that's my personal favorites. And I was even talking to some guy at where I work at, um, that he actually is saying that he knows quite a few of the bands I already know. I thought that was pretty cool because there's a lot of people that don't know those bands, and that's what I'm all about, is letting people know, helping the little guy, even the big guys. But the big guys don't need as much help as the little guys. And you get some great music at a good, fairly decent price, and you get the kind of the intimate, personal, smaller venue kind of feel, because price of tickets are not cheap, and especially for the big shows. I mean, I'd probably do maybe one of those, maybe a year, and three or four of the smaller shows or more. I've already seen Obituary. I've seen Living Dead Girls, Owls and Aliens, Power Man 5000, Mudvayne, see who else, Raven Black, Metallica, Five Finger Death Punch, Nine Nice Kills. Uh, I've seen Five Finger Death Punch twice, not by. It was more like it just happened by chance for me because I was wanting to watch Megadeth, so they were playing with Megadeth, and they were also playing with Metallica, so I got to listen to them twice. Which I'm not a huge Five Finger Death Punch fan. No offense to the fans out there. I do like some of their songs, and they do got some really good vocals. It kind of reminds me of Scar the Martyr. I think they do a really good job too. They're a little bit heavy at times, but then they also have some good vocals. They're more of a pop style sound to a point at times, and I think there's a lot newer bands out there that are some of the ones that are coming up through the ranks that are within the last 10 years or something that are kind of like that. So it's not completely all heavy, but then there's also like a death metal, which I like too. So I try to mix it up. I try to listen to a bunch of stuff, and it's amazing the range of fans. If you go to these concerts and you see them outside, there's like these people that look like everyday average people like me, and then there's some that are kind of like more biker kind of guys with Max and I no, it's not Igor, it's Igor Cavalera, and Sepultura. I mean, it's Sepultura, but Cavalera Conspiracy, and there's also Sepultura, and I wanted to see Crowbar, but they ended up skipping out on me. It's like, really, but Sacred Reich is really good. That was who was there playing with them, and some of the opening bands are just as notable as the other one, like Purge of the Heretics that opened for Butcher Babies, Infected Rain, Stitched Up Heart. So yeah, all kinds of great bands out there. And Stitched Up Heart is, I saw some of the bus touring stuff. They were kind of on there for a little while, where they were starting off, and they were in a van or something. I forgot what it was, but now they're kind of moving up a little bit. They don't have a tour bus yet, but they don't have the money for that. And I think they have a service that bands can use where they actually can like rent out a bus for a tour for tour buses. I don't know if they actually physically own it until at least until they own one. And then there's the bigger bands that have like like their own helicopters for getting into the venue, and the bands that have the gear and stuff like that, that they set up. So they